Okay, the freeze is coming and my RV is not winterized, which is quite the first world problem to have. So what I have to do today is get it out of storage and drive it to Florida to beat the freeze. I started laundry earlier. I did online shopping for my groceries last night so that they would be delivered. But I have to do two workouts, two 45-minute workouts today. So I got out and I'm doing my walk early. One of them has to be outside. That way I can have this done and not stress about it. And I can always do yoga inside my RV when we get there. I think we're gonna get there pretty late. I think it's gonna be a really late start. I can't go get my RV until around 11:30, and then we have to drive pretty far. I actually don't even know how far it is, but Florida is the place for all RVers, so it's hard to find a spot. I found a spot South Orlando. It looks like it'll be pretty fun. I have it for 2 nights, and then I'm gonna figure out where I'm going from there. Maybe I'll go see my dad in Daytona. Maybe I'll go further into Florida. I don't really know, but I have a ton of stuff that I need to get done. I am certain this is gonna go absolutely sideways, and I don't know. We'll see. Okay, it is just about 2 p.m. We are packed up and I am headed out of my neighborhood south to Florida. I have Calvin with me, Calvin the Gamer 5, and obviously my other kids, but they're in the back, and we are going to beat this frost. I had every intention of just filming a really fun RV trip, but when we arrived at the KOA that we were staying at, as soon as I turned off my engine, this incredibly loud, scary sound started happening kind of where my inverter is, and I just started panicking. I was convinced my inverter was going to somehow explode. I'm not sure why. That was just the thought I had. So when I was trying to check in, we were checking in past office hours, and a gentleman who's going to guide me to my spot just like, come on, let's go to your spot, regardless of this very scary noise that we can hear emanating from your RV. So we get to my spot, we park, and I am trying to discover what exactly is making this horrifying noise. I am looking, it mostly sounds like it's coming from underneath my sink, so I tear everything out from underneath my sink. I look at the cabinet that is adjacent to the underneath sink, the outside cabinet. Still not really finding the source. And then my neighbors said, what about the outside TV? So I pop open that cabinet and it is the speaker system. It is somehow like some wires had must have jiggled loose. And so it has like this complete feedback noise that it was cycling through. And it was so incredibly loud and just overwhelming. So after trying all of my breakers, all of the fuses, pulling out all of my owner's manuals, and talking to my husband on the phone, who is Googling every single thing he can think of, we are not finding a solution. What ended up happening was I had to unscrew both of the speakers that are attached outside, get my hand behind it, and eventually unplug the entire sound system. So what I had also tried to do is I tried to shut off every source of power. I turned off my shore power. I turned off the inverter. I turned off everything. And this little thing still had freaking power. It was like a zombie. I think what was happening is that it was drawing from my engine chassis, like the engine part of the RV, and not the home batteries, because I had disconnected the home batteries even. So I had to eventually unplug the back of it. I was convinced there was a grounding issue that was going to set my RV on fire. I was almost ready. If like shutting off all the power had solved the issue, I would have just killed all the power and just let us go to bed without heat, and also pray that the fridge stayed cold enough that all of our food didn't go above a safe temperature overnight. It was several hours. I think it took almost 3 hours to finally get my hand back there. I pull out a drawer. I try to stick my body through the drawer. So because I'm such in a frantic panic, everything gets just thrown everywhere in the RV. I had just thrown all of our clothes on my bed, and I intended when we set up, I was going to fold the clothes and put them away nicely. And instead, when I was ready to go to sleep, all the clothes just get shoved into drawers, and just finally, I am I have the noise stopped. I am considering giving up on 75 hard because I still have to do yoga, and it is about 10:30. I roll out that yoga mat. I do yoga for 45 minutes. I finish my water, and I decide that I am going to go to bed and just do a full reset in the morning. So that's what you're seeing. Now we're doing a full house reset, but fortunately, my house is an RV and it does not take very long to do a whole reset. There's a lot more organizing involved than I would have wanted to, but to be honest, we had a very large trip last summer, I think. And by the time I got home, I just did the basic clean. I didn't try to put anything back, reset anything. It had been over 3 weeks on the road and I was over it. So there is a lot of extra little setting up and fixing and, refreshing that normally I don't have to do at the start of a trip. It's something that happens at the end, but in for a dollar, in for a dime. So let's get this whole house reset. The last thing I want to mention before I stop yapping your ears off is the tripod that I am using to film. It's a gimbal, I believe they're called. So it attaches to my phone and it has its own power source and everything like that. And every once in a while, it just decided that the memory was full and it would stop filming. And I wouldn't know until I went to go reposition. And so there are a few abrupt edits in here where all of a sudden I'm changing to another vantage, but there's clearly a lot more work that had been finished. Well, clearly to me, maybe not to you. See, this is me trying to put the drawer back in. Last night, I was trying to get the drawer back in. I was talking to my dad on the phone about how I had so much to do, like all of the stress of it. Of course, when it was done, I was trying not to cry just because of the relief of, okay, we're going to go to bed with heat and the food's not going to spoil. And I'm trying to talk to him and shove this drawer back in. And he goes, just leave it for tomorrow. That's my biggest piece of advice. That drawer doesn't need to go back in tonight. Put it in tomorrow. And he was right. After a night's sleep and a shower, it was so much better to put that drawer away in the morning. And it actually went back in. It was not going back in the night before, and it went in this time. So what I was saying was there might not be visible to you, but to me, there's a clear amount of progress that just does not get recorded because it shut off. At one point, you'll see how I had it propped up and like it just flipped over. So not my best, but it's my first time trying to figure out how this is going to work in the RV. Hopefully my other RV videos aren't look at me recovering from a epic disaster of an evening and more of a fun look at the traveling and the road schooling that we're doing. Anyways, that's enough of me yapping your ear off about my very first world problems, and I will let you just relax and enjoy this house reset.
love way too easily. Yeah, I always need to remind myself nothing of what I feel is real.
And I am done. I have to take the trash out and put that tub underneath the RV for storage. And I do still need to address all the clothes that are on my bed and in the drawers. But my house is functional again, and I can relax and enjoy this impromptu vacation to get away from the cold. Thank you for spending time with me. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.